Today is Wiggly Blackthorn Fact Day. Number 1. Straight blackthorn sticks have traditionally been made into walking sticks.
Welcome to the Wiggly Podcast. It's just me today and Noah, the cat, sat on the sofa, so any purring is he. And I have in front of me my sloe gin, which I have just shook for the billionth time. And the great thing is I also have in front of me the disc with the missing Blackthorn show on it. And what it is I gave Michael the disc with the Blackthorn show on it, and he said, "There's nothing on the disc." And I thought, "Oh, you silly man, of course there is." And he said, "You failed to format it again." And I thought, well, I pressed the button, definitely I did. And anyway, it wasn't there, what could I do? I went to the drawer and found the other disc. And so what had happened was I gave him the 256 disc, and in fact he needed the 2 gigabyte disc, and so I've given it him this morning. Anyway, all that says is that we've got Blackthorn facts for you. So as you've already heard one Blackthorn fact, here's another one. Monty, take it away.
Wiggly Blackthorn Fact Number 2. Blackthorn blossom is edible and can be crystallized to make cake decorations, and it looks really cool.
This week's show is packed full of prickly customers. We've got Rach, well, she's not very prickly, but we've got David Willetts, who is the Cabinet Minister for Science, and we've got all sorts of bits and bobs on making sloe gin with Blackthorn. Get that? Oh, I've got a joke for you. I've been practicing this for ages. But first, here's a Monty fact.
Wiggly Blackthorn Fact Number 3. One of our rarest butterflies, the black hair streak, lays its eggs on the blackthorn.
Here's my joke. Because Noah's on the sofa with me, here it is. Last night, my cat swallowed a ball of wool. I woke up this morning and she'd had mittens. Corker. Anyway, my sloe gin looks absolutely fantastic. It's now the colour of ruby red. I can just see the almonds floating around in it, and I can't wait for Christmas Day, which is when I shall be having it on the rocks. And it's in my Quattro Stagioni jar, which apparently means 4 seasons, so your food lasts for a year. That's handy, isn't it? Here we go. I was lucky enough to be invited to the Google launch of their report about Connected Kingdom, how the UK is connecting with people using the internet. And at the launch was all sorts of people, including Jeremy Hunt, who is the Culture Secretary. He had just had lunch with Jonathan Ive of Apple. And it turns out that out of his 16 designers, 7, including him, are British. How amazing is that? And there's only 1 American in the team. Anyway, he flew in to this event, which was in Bethnal Green, and oh, he was lovely. He was so, he was suave, he was sophisticated. Anyway, the next chap came on, and that was David Willetts, and he'd push bike from Shepherd's Bush. So I thought, which one will I interview? I'll go for David Willetts, because he is the one that has helped sort broadband for Herefordshire with a super fast speed. So here we are, David Willetts with me at the Google launch, and Wiggly Wigglers were lucky enough to be one of the case studies, and so got lots of PR from the do. Dear Wiggly listener, I'm pleased to say that I've got David Willetts with me, and he's a minister. And can you explain to me, David, what your ministerial role is?
I'm the Minister for Universities and for Science. So I put the funding in for the universities, but also the science base as well.
I've got 2 thank yous for you.
Right.
The first is, you won't remember this, but in 2005, Wiggly Wigglers won the National Federation of Small Businesses Best Business Award, and you very kindly sent me a letter, which I have on my wall.
Yep.
I think you're a business shadow.
That's right, I'm a shadow then.
That point.
That's right.
And the second thank you is that I live just outside the Golden Valley in Herefordshire, And that is where last week was announced that we're going to have super fast broadband for rural areas. And I want to say, if it was anything to do with you, thank you so much, because it's going to make a huge difference to Herefordshire. And I just wanted to know what your view was on super fast broadband for rural business, which brings us up to speed. It's like puts us on an equal playing field with these big boys in London.
Yeah, and you're absolutely right. I mean, of course, Jeremy Hunt deserves the credit above all for pushing it forward from his department.
I know, but I've never had a letter off him.
But we in Biz have overall policy responsibility for IT, and we absolutely back it. It's very important for people in rural areas that they get this kind of access. Of course, you say in comparison with London, there are even, believe it or not, places less than 20 miles from where we are now in the centre of London, where you still can't get proper fast broadband connections. And it's unfair, and it's incredibly wasteful that people around the country can't access super fast broadband, and we're absolutely committed to spreading it to everyone.
Now, one of my heroes is Tim Berners-Lee. It's got to be that. Now, you just said on stage that you've had contact with him. Can you give my listeners a little bit more idea about what's going on?
Well, he's a fascinating man. And the thing that he's interested in at the moment is the semantic web. And the reason why he doesn't think the web is yet doing what he envisaged it doing is that we have to go through these kind of clunky filing systems to track the data that you need. And he envisages a system where you never need to go through the filing system, and where the system becomes sufficiently smart. If you keyboard in what is the capital of France, it says Paris. You don't have to access a site to find that information. You get it all directly. And that's the big current challenge. And believe it or not, we in Britain have got one of the leading places in the world for thinking about this and trying to tackle it. It's very high levels of theoretical and maths. Southampton University is a great place for this, some other ones as well. And I still hope that Tim, who divides his time now between MIT and Southampton, that Tim might get that Institute of Web Sciences to crack that problem.
Thank you very much, and it's great to meet you. Yeah. Thanks for the letter.
Very good.
Bye. Time for a Monty fact.
Wiggly Blackthorn fact number 4. Sloe juice can be used as an indelible ink or a red dye.
And so, as I said, we found the disc. And so you will be able to listen to the day when I went hunting for sloes. I'm sorry if I'm a bit slow looking for sloes, but the sloes were very slow in coming forward and being available. In fact, they were the other side of the field. But hopefully Michael will edit all pauses out of it. So you will imagine that I'll pop out and find some, which didn't happen. Come on, Cam. Come on. Good girl. So most of our hedges are made up of hawthorn and blackthorn, field maple, all the normal wildlife elements. This year actually Wigglies are going to do a foraging hedge, so grow your own edible hedge. So I'm just looking here for that lovely bluish black berry, and so far all I can see are haws, blackberries, most of which have gone over, hazel, more hawthorn. Not as much blackthorn in our hedges as a lot of people's, so you have to keep your eyes open, ready to get your treasures, which are the sloes. Pretty sure we're coming up to a blackthorn. Here we are, dark green leaf, prickly, slow, so just pull off a few. And they look like they've got a sort of tinge of blue on them. Apparently the straight sticks make really good walking sticks, but best of all, the sloes make really good gin. It's really easy to do. You know I wouldn't be doing it otherwise. There's lots of haws at the moment. They're apparently really good for heart conditions. I know my Auntie Pip used to make jelly for meat made of haws, but on Twitter nobody seemed very keen. I don't think the birds are that keen anyway, because they've certainly left loads. Here comes the piggies. I don't know whether piggies like sloes. Do you like sloes, piggies? I don't think so. Now you've got muck all over me now. Come on then. Right, I'm going to take these back to the kitchen and process them.
Wiggly blackthorn fact number 5. Dead blackthorn wood provides food for the caterpillars of the concealer moth, Espira olivella.
So you join Monty and myself at the kitchen table with our sloes, pricking them so that all the berry juice comes out of them, and putting them into a lovely big Quattro Staglione jar. Shame of it is, Mum, I don't suppose you'll like sloe gin.
No, not really. But I like the making.
Yep. So, for those of you who've never made sloe gin, there's no cooking required. What you do is you get a litre of gin, about half that much of sloes, and half that much again of sugar. And we wanted some almond essence, but we can't find any. So we're going to put a sprinkling of almonds in our jar. And then the excitement starts. Right then, Mum, we've got a fair few sloes in there, so let's undo the gin and pour it in. Fill it up then. Whoa. And now we'll add the sugar. Lovely. In it goes then, Mum.
Do you want to spill it?
Brilliant. Okay then, Mum, a few almonds in because we haven't got any almond essence.
There you go.
And now the exciting bits, twist it on so it's nice and secure.
Let's hope it's watertight.
Yeah, and now you can turn it upside down and give it a shake. Lovely. Good shake, Mum. Then we have to shake it every other day for 2 weeks, and then every week for 2 months. And then it will be Christmas. Well done. Do you enjoy that?
Yeah.
Thank you to Christine Hope. If I haven't told you before, we're off to Buckingham Palace. Anyway, she phones up Buckingham Palace, and the phone was answered not by the Queen, but they did say Buckingham Palace. So she has got us to be able to make a podcast in the grounds of Windsor Castle, and we're hoping to be able to take you inside Windsor Castle, which is a very rare event indeed. So that will be coming up in December. In the meantime, let's get down to basics, because Rach is in the Gambia for our last episode of Rach's tour with Concern Universal earlier this year.
It's the last day today, and we are here at the CU offices, and just across the road is the gig area, which all the produce is brought to from the gardens. I'm joined by Mahmoud Touré, and Mahmoud's going to give us a little insight into what happens here.
Yeah, thank you, and welcome to the Gambia's Good site. Gambia's Good is a project under Concern Universal, and then the project was established since 2004. And we're working with about 1,000 farmers. At the moment, we do give them contracts. Every month we have what we call production planning. And then based on the production planning, sales and marketing will give out quantities and then minimum price of what they expect to sell in the next coming few months. Could be 2 months or 3 months, depending on the crop. And then the production managers will go out to the field and then give it to farmers that they're working with as a contract, and then farmers will also sign on behalf of themselves or on behalf of their family, and then JIG will also sign through the production managers.
Okay, the contract is for how long?
The contract is renewed monthly, because every month we have the production managers meeting, and then whenever we have production meeting, production managers do go out with contracts. So which means it's monthly contracts.
Okay.
And then come that time, JIG will honor the contract and then buy it at that minimum price, depending on the market price. If the market price is higher, JIG will also pay them a higher price. But so in case the market price is lower, it is big commitment to sell it to buy it at that minimum price. But sometimes we have constraints because farmers sometimes don't meet our demand. They always fail the contracts. It's really challenging on them. Though there are a lot of improvements on the way, but however, it's still difficult to meet our demand.
Okay. It must be challenging on you as well, because it is your role to make sure that they have the produce, or you get the produce here to the gig farm.
Yeah, really it is very frustrating sometimes if I get the information late that farmers couldn't meet the demand, or they have failures here and there due to flood or pests, infestation, whatsoever.
Pests was quite a big problem.
Yeah, it is a quite big problem, particularly tomatoes. Nowadays red spider mites is the order of the day. Many farmers are complaining of this red spider mites, and then we don't have a solution to it. We're still doing trial and errors, to see how best can we cure it, but it's still difficult. And then the frustrating part is like, if we wait till the end of the day, we don't have the produce, so I have to go out and then get the produce by myself, which consumes a lot of my time, because I don't want customers to be calling and asking for stuff. I said, no, it's not available. That's not customer service.
We went out yesterday on a delivery to a hotel. And do you deliver just to hotels?
No, we deliver to, we don't have limitation because it's across the board. We deliver to everyone, being hotel, restaurant, individuals, and even feast. Because there are certain feasts people call and said, I have wedding, or I have christening.
Oh, feast.
Yeah, I have wedding, I have christening, or parties, etc., etc. And then you just place your order and then we'll deliver.
Well, thank you for that. Yeah. That's a real insight into what happens here. Mm-hmm. And we're going back to the UK today.
Yeah.
And we'll hopefully see you over in the UK.
Right.
And I know that when we were up at the NATC, we saw some traditional drumming and dancing. And all day long, Mahmood wound us up about having to dance, and he would dance, but he conned us and did not dance at all, yet we did. And so you found this great hilarity. So when he is in the UK next, he's coming night clubbing.
Yeah, I promise.
Okay,
I promise,
he's coming night clubbing, and I want to see his rock and roll technique.
No, I promise I will.
You
if
like
I'm
that?
there once again, I promise I will. Yeah.
Well, thank you, Mahmood.
Thank you.
Time for a Monty fact.
Wiggly Blackthorn fact number 6. Sloes are ready now. They say they are best after a frost, but probably best to get picking.
And again.
Wiggly Blackthorn fact number 7. The Latin name for blackthorn is Prunus spinosa.
Thanks, Mont. Goodbye from me from the Wiggly Sofa. Hope to speak to you next week. Enjoy your week very much. And if you want to contact us, Heather at Wiggly Wigglers, at Wiggled, at Farmer Phil. He's still pleased that we passed the TB test. And if you want to go online and order your Christmas prezzies, I know just the very company. www.wigglyWigglers.co.uk.